Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we start today with the bearish wave count. This is still the preferred option until Bitcoin goes above that high here of the wave 4 or the wave Y, however you want to see it. So we need to get ultimately above this high at 22,560. to invalidate this imminent bearish scenario, which is still very much live, still my primary expectation. However, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely considering that the low was already in. When we, I told you throughout this whole period here, that was in May, that we need to get another low because this structure would not support higher price levels. When we then dumped to here the next low, I told you every low can now be the last one. So we need to actively consider the low could be in here at 17,500 and that the overall correction might be finished. Now, I don't primarily expect this, but we need to allow for both options at the moment. This is unfortunately the situation in which we are in. However, Bitcoin is currently adhering to this wave count very well, but it's also adhering to the bullish one at the moment. So exactly this is why it's difficult. But there are a few levels that we need to watch which make the bullish and the bearish one more likely or even invalidate one of them. So here, this is obviously the bearish count. Should Bitcoin get above 22,560, it will invalidate this imminent bearish count. Now, of course, there are still other bearish options available then, but it's always a good sign for one scenario if the other one gets invalidated, yeah, because it makes then the one that hasn't been invalidated more likely. I mean, I'm only showing you these scenarios which I believe are currently most likely. There are so many scenarios that are possible, but I'm only showing you the most likely ones, and I think that are the most relevant ones. And this one is the bearish one, which I think is going to play out with the highest probability, but I'm open to the bullish option as well. So in this bearish count, we made this WXY pattern, came down in a wave 1 of an impulse, moved up in a wave 2 correction of a larger impulse here in a wave 5 in blue. And we would expect now, this is how it's looking like now, the impulse starting to the downside in a third wave. So this whole structure in this fifth wave is made up of 5 waves in itself. So a 1 here, a 2 here, a 3 to the downside, a 4 up and a 5 down. This is how it should play out. Someone asked me recently, what would be the key support if we drop really below 17,500, the low from the 18th of June? What would be the next key support? Well, next key support would be 16,900. That is the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement level. It's a very, very important support level. But after that, we've got the region between 14 and 15,000, which is highly relevant as well. So this would be my guess. If we really drop below 16,900, that we are going to end this overall correction between 14 and 15,000. And this is still my primary expectation. Don't necessarily need to get there, but any low below 17,500 would be helpful to finish this overall correction off. So again, this plays a role until we get above 22,560. Now the shorter time frame Elliott Wave count also currently works out perfectly. In the last video I told you that we've reached the perfect target for a wave C here. So this is to be considered, this down here was considered a wave 1. This here a wave 2 in an ABC pattern. Told you we can count 5 waves to the upside here in a leading diagonal in a wave, an ending diagonal in a wave C. So a whole wave C can be an ending diagonal where you have overlaps between waves. And we are now turning to the downside. This is the level where I said to you that, we can expect now a reversal. Need to be on high alert. What we then saw was here an engulfing red candle. Always a good sign. I then told you the best indication that this sell-off is starting is a move below the wave 4 low. And this is starting now. Next support will be here 20,380. And then 19,565. Now, when this move down, we should take out all of these support levels, should break out of the bear flag, and should also go, well, actually below 17,600. So the target for this wave 3, if this is a wave 3, yeah, it has to go to 16,000. So we'll see how this is going to play out. This would be my primary expectation. That's how it's currently looking like. And important would be a move in 5 waves down in this scenario, not in 3. If we are going down now in 3 waves, we are looking at the bullish scenario. I told you also in the bullish scenario I would expect a move down. Now in both scenarios I expected a move down. Therefore this move became even more likely. So we're looking now at the bullish scenario here. This suggests that we have seen here the low at 17,500, that we moved up in a wave 1 in an impulse to the upside, moved down in a wave 2, had another 1, 2. Now you can count this differently, this whole structure as a 1 and a 2. So you only have 1, 1, 2 set up, not 2. Which one eventually will play out, we'll see. They are both likely, both possible. And we then started to move up here in what I consider a wave 3 in a bullish scenario. Now, which of these scenarios will play out, I don't know, but I told you that ultimately Bitcoin in the next run to the upside, it needs to break above that 22,560 level to invalidate the bearish count. Yeah, this is what it needs to do. And until it does that, it will eventually still be on the table that this bearish scenario is going to play out. Okay, so looking here at this current chart, I told you in the last video that we were probably moving up here in a wave 3, or at least that if the market, wants to fulfill this bullish scenario, this is how we need to count it, as a wave 3, with a target for the wave 3 around 25,500. But of course there are subwaves. We counted this here as a leading diagonal to the upside in 5 waves. Told you here that this is probably the limit. The absolute limit would be 21,500 for this leading diagonal, because if it would go above that, it would be rather bearish, because then the wave 3 would be the shortest wave, which is not allowed as per the Elliott Wave rules. Showed you here that we're getting into the apex, and all of this together made me believe that we were going to go down, or had to go down at the latest at 21,500. Now we started a sell-off already at 21,167, I believe, when I made the last video. Could count this as a wave 1 to the upside. And I told you that in any case, in the bearish and the bullish scenario, I did expect a move down. This is happening right as we speak. This bearish move now depends, I don't know yet if this is the bullish or the bearish one. In the bearish scenario, we ideally stop at 19,700, between this area and 20,300. We can take a look at this from a Fibonacci retracement point of view. So here, these are the levels, the 61.8% fib level and the 38.2. Now my view would be that we're probably not going to stop at the 38.2, which is 20,300. I think we should go to 20k or 19,730, here between the 50% and the 61.8. Here we have a chance to move to the upside again. Yeah, and then would be moving up in a yellow wave 3. And that should take us here probably close to the resistance box up here between 23k and 23.3. So this is getting very interesting now. It's following the projection, and it will be interesting to see which of these scenarios is going to play out. But at the moment, interestingly, both the bullish and the bearish one are basically following the same waves. Therefore, high probability trades. Therefore, anybody who listened in the previous video where I said in any case I would expect to move down, that was for Ethereum as well. Yeah, these are high probability trades at the moment. So expect it to go into this area, and then we'll see in here we also have this ascending trend line of this channel. Yeah, so expect some support. I would say around 20k. That would be a good one where we could have another chance to turn around. Okay, that's my current view about the bullish scenario and Bitcoin in general. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.